Today we're out in the woods going to get some fall, autumn color type pictures. And I've been watching on YouTube a fellow photographer, although he is a professional, I believe, Nigel Danson, and I think he's from England, and he gave 7 ideas on how to get better fall pictures. So today I'm going to use his list. I made a list. I'm going to use his 7 ideas and take 7 pictures, and I'll tell you what they're all about as we take them. His first idea, which is something I always do anyway, is to use a CPL, a circular polarizing lens, to help get rid of the glare and increase the contrast, especially if there's any water or sunshine on leaves, this sort of thing. So that'll be the first thing we'll do. And then he gives some other ideas, and as I do each one, I'll talk through it, and we'll just see what kind of pictures we can get for fall. So let's get started. We're out here in the woods. It's a beautiful day. There's not a cloud in the sky. It's about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The sun's high. Not a soul in sight. And it's just really nice to be out here. It's cool, about 67 degrees. So it's going to be a nice day anyway. Okay, the first picture that he suggested was to use the sun as backlighting on the leaves. If you look up here at the leaves, you've got some nice red leaves, and the sun is shining right in my face, so the leaves are backlit. Now, the far background, if you look, are green leaves. And I'm using a 50mm lens, which is dirty, 50mm lens, and I've got it set at the maximum f-stop, f.1.8, ISO 100. The white balance is set for sun, and I'm shooting at 1/1250th of a second. I have to because I'm looking almost directly into the sun. So let's take the picture, and I've got my polarizer set to where I want it. So let's take the picture. And the idea of the low f-stop is a wide open lens, and that gives you the shortest depth of field, or otherwise the shortest area of focus. And by doing this, the trees in the background will just be a blurry green, hopefully. Now you can do the same thing on a pocket camera if it has a zoom lens. You get further away and zoom out, focus on the near subject that you want a picture of, and the background then would be blurry. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead now and take the picture. I'm going to change it just a little bit. I'm going to go to about an f3. That'll slow the shutter speed down to 1/640th of a second. Refocus here. Wow, that really changed things. The first picture, and I'll show you both pictures right after I get done talking about them here. The first picture, the sky in the background is a very light blue, and the trees are so blurred out that you can't hardly make it out. In the next picture, oh, and the leaves are kind of a yellowish color. But in the next picture, by slowing them down and closing the shutter down just a little bit, closing it down to a 3.2, f-stop 3.2, why, the leaves are more reddish now. The sky is a little deeper blue, and the trees, even though they're blurred, you can kind of make out that the trees. I think the second shot's a much better picture, and I'll show you both pictures. All right, let's move on and see if we can get something different now. Okay, the next picture was to frame your shot with something. And what I'm going to do, although those leaves aren't fall colors yet, unfortunately, I'm going to frame that little bush over there, the little green bush, with this fallen log, with two old limbs that are sticking up, and I'm going to shoot through those. Now for this I'm using a longer lens, and I'm going to be shooting at about, looks like about 90 millimeter. I've got it set on the lowest f-stop, f4.5, and we'll be shooting at 1/40th of a second. That's, I want to up my ISO. That's way too slow here. I upped my ISO to 400, and now I'm setting it at 1/320th of a second. That way I won't have any blur. I'm using a manual focus, and so I'm going to get down. Kind of low and take the shot. Move back and take a little longer shot. I didn't care for that very well. I'm using manual focus, but the camera would have difficulty focusing on what I want to focus on. Gotta adjust the ISO again. This time I'll be using an ISO of 800. I'll be shooting at 1/400th of a second. And like I said, I'm using manual focus because the camera just won't be able to focus through that. Let's see what this looks like. Well, I tell you, if the leaves were in full color, it'd be a great picture. Since they're green just like the background, they kind of get lost. But the longer shot, the further I got away, the better the shot was. It's a whole lot better than the first shot where I was closer up. We'll do some adjustment here and see if we can figure something out. Let me take another look around. This is such a good spot. I gotta find something. There's some trees a little higher up, some leaves that are kind of turning red. Maybe I'll try to get those. So I just took a picture and I zoomed out to 300 millimeter. Unfortunately, there was nothing to frame it, but I just wanted to focus on that little tree over there. There's a couple of red leaves right out on the end of the branch, and I think it's going to be a pretty good picture. They're kind of green in the background, and then the far background is it's just gone. There just really isn't any. So they're just kind of hanging there. I don't know if you can see the picture or not? Can you see it? Can you focus on it?
Kinda.
Okay. So that's what we got. What I found was the sun shining on some yellow leaves, and I shot this picture at 1/320th at an f5 and at about 135 millimeter, and I'm using a larger, two small trees to kind of frame the leaves. And I don't know how effective it is. It's hard to tell. But we'll see. I did take some other pictures more close, but they're not framed with a long lens, just because they're such a brilliant yellow and they look so good. What I'm going to do now, though, is get down low and get some macro pictures of this moss on this rock over here. So we'll see how that turns out. I'll have to change lenses for that. Okay, his next was do some macros, close-ups of some items. I just took a little picture of a rock over there with some kind of fungi growing on it. And now I've got a rock down here. There's kind of a big leaf on it here, and some pine needles and stuff, and it's real green and soft, so I'm going to try to get a picture of that somehow or another. Not just exactly sure how, but I'm going to try to micro in here and see what we get. Got a lot of junk laying around it, very, very green. The sun's shining right on the right spot with lots of deep, dark shadows all around it. So the shadows on a close-up like this are kind of framing my picture. And I think it's going to be kind of a neat picture. I'm going to try to get it from a little different angle here to see what I get. Adjust and readjust. did on that one, I focused on the moss, and then I opened my shutter up a stop, overexpose the stop, so it makes the moss real bright green, but it opens up the shadows. It kind of made a neat picture. I'm gonna try that one more time. Yeah, I like that. It looks real good. Looks very good. A little fall color, a little green moss. 1/80th of a second, f.18. Let's see, the ISO was 100. And my histogram looks pretty good, if that means anything. So, we'll just see how it turns out. Okay, let's take a look at Nigel's list, see how we've done. We've got our circular polarizing lens on, cut down the contrast. We tried different lenses. We tried a long lens, shooting at high ISOs, low f-stops. We tried backlighting. Water, we haven't done anything water. We don't have any water here. I have to do that another time. We tried to frame, done a couple of framing shots. They weren't real good because my framework wasn't real good, but to get color, it was the best I could do. The only thing, I've gone close with macro. The only thing I haven't done is find a background that's like a dirt wall or a gray rock or something like that as a contrasting color for a background. So far I haven't been able to find anything like that. So we'll continue to look around a little bit, and then I think we're going to shut it down. But we'll look around, see if we get back to you. Well, we got 5 of the 6 things done we wanted to get done. We're going to pack it in for the day. My battery went dead, so we had to walk back to the car. And I'm just too tired to walk back out there again, so I don't think we're going to do it. We're going to go on home now. Maybe if we wait a few days, there'll be more color. Right now, there's just not a whole lot of color. I can't believe it. It's the October 16th. And you know, it's still in the 70s. And everything's just as green as grass. So I have no idea what's going on. Usually by this time, the color's about over and the leaves are starting to fall off, but not this year. So we're going to wait a couple of days and then we'll get back to it. Okay, shutter clickers. In the fall, something happens where the water is warm and the mornings are cool. This morning is about 45 degrees. And when the sun comes up, it starts lifting a fog. off the water, which makes for a really neat picture. This last picture I took here, I took it at 1/13 of a second, f/22, ISO 100. And I'm using a polarizer and a 4-stop graduated filter. I went to 1/13 of a second just to see if I could smooth the ripples out and maybe get a little movement in the fog. What I should do is get another filter and a 4-stop neutral density filter and really slow it down. But I don't know whether I got time or not. Okay, what I did this time was I went to 1/3 of a second, f/22, ISO 100, and I put a 4-stop neutral density filter and a 2-stop graduated filter on here. And that should really smooth the water out. I don't know whether you can see the picture or not. But you'll see it on the at the end of the session here. I'll show you all the pictures I took. What we're waiting for now is for the fog to lift a little bit so that you can see the water as well as the sky, and it'll kind of compact, hopefully. So we'll just wait here and see.